Welcome to the Happy House NYC, everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We're about to start the most incredible home fitness workout called Extra with the very fabulous Reza Pazooki. I am going to show you 5 household items that I'd like you to run and grab so that you can participate. So give me 1 second. You need a couple of heavy books or magazines. You need an old towel or pillowcase that you're happy to go on the ground. You need a broom. Doesn't have to be as glamorous as this one, but just a stick, a pole. And you need some kind of bag, a handbag, a little gym bag. And one last thing, just a little chair that you're happy to use to put your weight on or do step-ups on, okay? So, as you or one of you, somebody in your house goes and runs and gets those, I'll just quickly tell you, you're in Maison 10. We're doing our Happy House series of events. Tonight, we're in front of the fabulous works by Twiglips. They're on the wall behind me. So, without further ado, you've got about 35 to 40 minutes of an amazing workout with Reza Pazooki. I'm going to go that way. Reza's in the wings on that side, and he's going to come in this way. So, Reza, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Here he is.
Hey, what's up everyone? Thanks for tuning in today. I'm Reza, and I'm just going to show you a few things that you can use around your house to get a great workout in. So there are no excuses for you to get moving at home while you're like working or watching TV or eating, which is my favorite thing to do. So while you're still grabbing stuff, we're just going to, while someone's grabbing stuff, we'll do some warm-up stuff. So we're going to start with like a basic air squat. We'll just go for like 15. You can shoot your arms forward so your feet are just shoulder width apart or wider, or just a little bit wider. And as you come down, you drive your butt back, keep your chest up off your legs. And let's just go for like 10 more from here. The lower you go, the better, I think. So if you can get your butt down below your hips below your knee crease would be good. So it's a nice little movement to get things moving. Next we'll do like a little forward lunge. So without any weights, just body weight, stand upright and keep your upper body upright, and we'll step forward into a lunge with both knees bent to 90 and then back. You can do whatever you want with your hands. Let's go for 10 on each side just to get you a little bit warm here. It's actually very cold at Maison 10 right now. So today, I'm going to show you some basic things, and then we will have some options for you. So if you're feeling like you're a little bit more advanced, go for those, but only do what's comfortable for you and safe, okay? Let's get a couple more of these in, and then what we'll do is we'll grab a broomstick or anything like a stick. So if you have a broomstick, or I don't even know what else is like this around your house, but these are ideal. We're going to grab it at the ends, and what we're going to do is called a pass-through. So we're going to bring this up over your head, and we're going to stretch out the shoulders a bit by bending at the elbows and letting this come down to your hips behind you. So if you're more flexible, you can keep your arms straight as you go through this. And we'll do this 10 times, all right, guys? It's a nice little shoulder warm up. Should feel good in your chest as you pull this back. Let's get like 4 more in here. And wake up your shoulders a bit. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to continue holding onto this stick for a minute. We're going to play around with your back and activate your chest a bit before we really get into lifting here. So, if you have your broomstick, grab it slightly wider than your shoulder distance and hold your arms straight out. Now all we'll do, everyone, is we're going to pull our shoulder blades together and hold this for 5 counts. So this will be 3, 2, and then just relax. And then we're going to pull this back again. So we're pulling all the space between our shoulder blades together, and we're holding it, activating the muscles, we'll just say, around our spine. And let's continue this. We're going to go for 10 total. Really have a firm grip on the stick or whatever's in your hand. So yeah, it's a nice little activator here for your shoulders, back of the shoulders. And then we're going to do the same thing with your chest. So what we'll do is go just a little bit wider, like 3 to 4 feet wide. And what I'm going to ask you to do is push this stick together as best you can. So it's like you're going to squeeze into the middle of this, and you want it to break in the middle, in between your hands. So all I'm doing here is squeezing as hard as I can for 5 counts, which should activate your chest. You should feel that immediately. And this is great too if you want to practice like a nice bench press. You can do the same thing as long as you're really pressing this together with a lot of energy. So I don't know if you probably can't see it from here, but my little chest is on fire. So let's get this in like 3 more times. And from here, your chest, your shoulders, your legs should be pretty warm. And keep the broom handy because we'll use it later for some ab work. All right, let's wrap this up. Okay, so what we're going to do now is grab a bag. Any kind of bag will do. Sure, let's leave this here. We like a duffel bag. This is great. Anything with handles, you can use a backpack. And we're going to fill it with books. We want to make this thing heavy. So we'll be doing bicep curls with this, squats with this. This was already heavy, so I'm just going to put a couple great books in here. I think you can find these here. Yeah. So yeah, make it as heavy as you like. Enough to challenge you for like a bicep curl or a shoulder press or a squat. See how full this bag is already? Newspapers, magazines, bags of rice or beans, cans of things, heavy stuff, shoes, if you have shoes that are heavy. All right, so once you have your bag full, we're just gonna go with a basic bicep curl, then we'll get into some lunges and squats. So basically, we're gonna just use one hand at a time. Grab this in your right hand by the handles here. And you can have a tote bag, really anything with a handle will work. And I'm just going to slowly lower this to the ground, to your side, not to the ground. And then pull your fist up to your shoulder and squeeze a lot. So let's go through 10 on this side. And don't worry, we'll repeat this. So yeah, you'll have a chance to practice. So we're just going to go for 10, and then we'll switch sides. We'll alternate a bicep curl with a squat. Super easy, right? If you have 2 really cool bags and you can make them weigh about the same, then go for it. You can use both hands. That would be fun. You'd save some time. Make sure that you're really, really squeezing your bicep at the top of this, right? So it takes a little bit of thought behind that muscle. And slowly lower it down. I feel like that's 10. I kind of lost count. My apologies. So we're going to switch sides. Same thing on this side, right? And another thing to think about is pulling your belly in, right? Like let's say you're in an exhale where you're trying to blow up a balloon. That feeling that you have in your stomach, when you exhale, you want to keep. So always keep your core nice and tight. Those of you that do Pilates know what I'm talking about. This is 4. How's it feeling for you? This is like really heavy for me. Tom really loaded this bag up. The idea behind this is it may not be really heavy for you, is to move a little bit slower. So you can really feel it as you're coming up, and then you can use what we'll call the negative resistance as you lower it, and it'll be hard. It should be like a nice burn. All right, let's finish up here and we'll get into some squats. So if you are less comfortable with a squat, you'll want to grab a chair, like a dining room chair, an ottoman. If you have an ottoman, I don't know if you want to use your coffee table, that might be kind of scary. But yeah, grab your chair, and we'll use the chair as a guide. So you want to hold the bag in your hands this way. You can hold it this way if you're comfortable. I like this position. So when you stand up, find the legs of your chair and take your feet like an inch farther than like an inch apart. And all you will do is sit down in the chair, keeping your chest up, and stand back up. Now, a lot of you may not need this chair, so you can just move that to the side and get into the same kind of squat that we did during our warm-up. We'll go for 10 here. So as you come down, keep your chest up off your legs, holding this. This is hard, you guys. So we're going to finish up with 10 here. And you know what? Rather than doing another set of bicep curls, I'm going to let you do that on your own, because we have a lot more to cover. So do those afterwards if you can. So we're going to take this same bag, we're going to let it go. It's starting to feel a little bit heavy, right? And do a lunge with it. So make sure you have space in front of you and nothing really behind you. So just like our warm-up, we're going to stand upright, hold onto the bag, step forward, bend both knees to a 90-degree angle, and step back. Easy stuff, right? And we'll do 8 on each side. If a lunge is uncomfortable for you, you can step forward and just keep that foot forward and lower both knees. So this is a good option, especially if you're just a little bit less comfortable in your knees or with your balance. All right, let's wrap this up. So, other options for lunges, and we'll go through another set now. You can jump. I would recommend putting your heavy bag down for this, but if you want some more cardio, you can do what we call a split squat jump. So you can either go through these lunges again, or we will go for a nice little hop. You choose. I'm going to go ahead and do 8 more of these. This gets your heart rate up. You can burn some calories here. It also helps with your ass. So if you can squeeze your ass, no one else will. All right, so here we go. You choose whatever option works for you. Should we do one more set of squats? I think we should, because they're real good for you. So I'm going to just go ahead and grab the bag this way and finish up with 10 squats. So keep your chair handy. We're going to get into some shoulder work and some tricep work. If you need water, now's a good time to get it. So find your cute chair, bar stool, whatever you have, and we'll use this, we'll sit in it for a shoulder press today. Thank you. So grab your cute little bag, set it in your lap, and if you have a chair with a bag, press your lower back against it. And grab your bag here at the sides, make sure it's secure in your hands, and just press it up over your shoulders. Nice, solid shoulder press. You can also do this from a standing position. Make sure you keep your abs nice and tight. We'll revisit this after doing some tricep work. You can also do this sitting from the floor. You can sit with your legs cross-legged or with your legs straight out if you're really flexible. against a couch on the floor, whatever you have. By now, your shoulders should feel just a little bit of a burn. So we're going to set this down and get into like a basic tricep dip with your chair. So make sure your chair is in a place where it won't really slide around. And you have space to move your feet forward. Basically, we're just going to come to the edge of the chair, lift your butt off of it, and bend at the elbows, and then press back up with your triceps here. So the options for this, you can keep your knees bent at a 90-degree angle. This is the easiest way. You can extend your legs out. It's a little bit more challenging. Make sure you really stop at the top and squeeze the back of your arms. Or you can grab your bag, set it on your knees or on your lap, and do the press with the bag on your lap, giving you some more resistance to work with. So we're going to go through the shoulders one more time and the tricep one more time so you can practice that. And then you can do a third set, after the workout. I'm going to go back to the seated position with the bag. We'll just go for 10 presses, and then we'll go for 10 more tricep dips. So that's one. And we want this bag to come right up over your head, directly up. You know what also is really good for your shoulders is if you blow dry and brush your hair every day. That kind of burns the shoulders a lot too. I don't know how stylists do it. Or anyone with long hair, actually. You know what I'm talking about if you've ever blow dried your hair. I want to say this is 9, and we'll just go with that. So here's 10. I'm going to show you the option with the bag on my lap for the triceps. I think. You want to give yourself a little shelf here and complete your dips. Yeah. And you don't have to use your bag. You could use books. You could use rice, a bag of rice. What else is heavy? I guess like a bottle of water or a 6-pack of beer. So many options. All right, so let's move forward. Woo. Move your chair out of the way. We're finished with the bag. So we're just going to move this, grab some water if you'd like it, and come back with your towel, pillowcase, t-shirt, whatever is soft and can glide on the floor. We're going to move into like a lateral lunge. So this is great for your butt. It's great for your quads. And it's a little bit of flexibility with your inner thighs. So you want to stand facing forward, legs parallel to each other for now, or feet parallel to each other, with one foot on the towel rag or whatever you're using. All we're going to do, shoot our hips back, extend your arms forward, and push that leg with the towel on it as far as you can to the side without shifting all of your weight in that direction. This is like a lateral lunge or like a speed skater. It's really good for your ass. You guys will try this later, right? So we're going to go for 10. Some of you have what's called a glider, and that's perfect. This is such a handy tool. I forgot to mention it doesn't work on carpet. But if you have a yoga mat, if you're doing this with me, you should really feel this in your glutes and in your quads. So let's switch sides, get 10 on the other side. If you're tight in your legs, you'll feel stretching here. The key to this is really shooting your hips back as you come down and trying to stay planted on the foot that's planted. It's tricky. So we're going to wrap this up with just one set, and we'll keep working on your glutes, okay? So keep the towel handy. You can do this afterwards, or you can do like 3 sets of 10 on your own. Anything you want. So for time's sake, we're going to move forward, and we're going to keep working on the butt. So you want to grab your chair, and we'll do something called the hip thrust. So make sure you have space behind you. Get onto your back and place your heels on the chair, and so that your knees are bent at a 90-degree angle and your hips are at a 90-degree angle. And plant your elbows into the ground or the floor for stability. All we'll do is what looks like a bridge position. Shoot your hips up and then bring them back down gently. And this is where you really can tighten up your booty. Now, if you're feeling like you want more, you could do this with one leg. I would center your foot in the middle of the chair for stability. Take one leg up to the sky and go through this. This is a great exercise for the glutes. Almost anyone can do this. You don't actually have to have a chair, but it increases the intensity. It's so good. Someone once said to me when I was a kid, if you don't squeeze your ass, no one will. And that's kind of stuck with me through adulthood. So you always want to clench that booty. Everyone likes a nice ass, right? So listen, we're going to go through this one more set. I'm going to do both legs. If you need to stretch it out, you can pull your knees into your chest, roll around a little bit, and we'll get back into it. Let's go for 10 more. Okay, you guys ready? If you have a band at home, you can wrap it around your knees and press out at the top. You don't need the band. You can actually just do that here. It looks silly, but it works the booty. We're going to call this one 6. And we'll finish here with 10. And again, if you like, you can stretch out your legs a bit here just by pulling your knees into your chest, rolling around. We're going to do one more thing for your legs, and then we'll move forward. This is called a Bulgarian split squat. So you'll need your chair or anything. Like if you have, you can stack like 5 books on top of each other, something this height, or maybe like half the height, depending on how you feel. So Bulgarian split squat can be kind of tricky. Requires a lot of balance, so take your time when doing these. You'll want to have enough space to where you can place a toe this direction. You can also do this for stability. I like to do it with my toes on, my shoelaces on the bench or the block or the chair. And when you complete this exercise, you want to have a little bit less than a 90-degree angle bend, and you can lean forward a bit. Don't hunch forward, but this forward lean is okay. I'll call it an athletic stance. You'll feel this fire up your glutes almost immediately. It's a good exercise. It does not have to be this high. We're going to call this one 4, and we'll get through 10. When you're pressing the foot that's planted, think of it as a triangle, and you want even pressure on the whole foot, so that will help you balance. These are actually really hard. If you're not feeling this in your glutes, you could grab your bag and make it more challenging. Let's get the other side. Scary, right? Yeah, there are options for this. Like you could do curls with your bag, right? You can just hold it by your sides, wherever you have balance. By this time, by this part of the workout, your butt should be feeling good, nice and perky. We'll call this 7. All right, you can stand up, shake it out a little bit. I think we should do one more set of those because they're so good. And then we'll come down to the floor for some core work. So take a moment, grab some water. I'm gonna get some, and then we'll get back into it. All right. So let's do 10 more on each leg. Listen, if you're moving along with us, you can do any type of lunge here if this is uncomfortable for you. So you can have both feet planted on the floor and do the same thing. So it was really cold in here a minute ago. Now it's like really nice and warm. I hope you're feeling the same. So this we'll call 8. And we'll finish with 10. Come up, shake out your legs a bit. And let's get right into the other side. Do you notice that one side's always a little bit more challenging than the other? It's perfectly normal, so don't worry about it. Just do your best. After this, we're going to come to the floor. We'll do some back stuff on the floor, some ab stuff. It's going to be real fun. I hear they're opening up the beaches in New Jersey soon, so you can go show off your beach bod, all without ever having to step into a gym. Let's call this 7, yeah? All right, great. Well done, everyone at home. So, what we'll need is enough space to lay flat on the floor with your arms and legs fully extended, okay? I'm gonna get this chair out of the way. We're finished with this. Let's go back to this broomstick. It's really great. You don't have to have a broomstick for this exercise, but I think it's helpful. So, I'm gonna come onto your stomach with your arms stretched out above your head. And if you can't see me, my arms are stretched all the way up over my head, above my head. Grab onto the broomstick, squeeze your glutes, and then pull this into your chest as you lift up in what seems like a cobra or an airplane position, and then come forward and just relax for a moment. This is really intense for your lower back. It's okay. You're not straining it here, it's just a lot of work. So let's do this 5 times. You can also do this with a towel, your pillowcase, or whatever. We'll call this 4. Keep your ass tight by lifting your legs. There's an option that is just a little bit more challenging. We'll do that in a moment. You can come into like what do we call this position? A child's pose to loosen up your lower back a bit, and then we'll get right back into it. I'll show you an option. You choose whatever one is best for you. So for now, I'm not going to use the broom or prop, but I'm going to take my arms up over my head. We call this like a handcuff style. You reach your arms up, and then you pull back, grab onto your hands like you're being handcuffed and lift up a lot. And then just come back forward. This is really intense. So only do it if you're comfortable right now. You can work up to this. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. You can do this while watching TV, right? Kind of. Or listening to NPR. Let's get one more. Great. So what we'll do now is flip onto our backs, okay? This is called an ISO dead bug. It's kind of an amazing exercise, and you'll use your stick or broom. So what we're going to do is lay flat on the back. Bring both legs up to a 90-degree angle. I'm going to grab the stick with like the broom facing the opposite direction of my feet. And since this is my right hand, I'm going to place the broom, the end of the broom, into my left foot. And from here, I'm going to create some tension right here by pressing in. And all I'm going to do is bring my knee into my elbow and release with tension. You can leave your head on the floor if this bothers your neck, or you can come up into a full-on crunch. This is really intense if you're keeping pressure on the broomstick. So we're gonna do 5 more. My clients hate this one, but it looks so cool, right? Especially with this fancy broom. So we'll finish with this one, and then we'll switch sides. So just move this over to your left hand. If you did this as designed, you should really feel it. If you have questions about it, contact Tom or my son Tim. We'll get them answered. So same thing here. Pressure on your toe, and a little crunch here. We'll call this one 4. And 6. And remember, if your neck hurts, you keep your head on the floor. Let's get a couple more in. And then just take a moment to yourself here. I think we should maybe do one more set because it's really challenging, right? Let's do a shorter set. We'll do 8 on each side. And we might stretch out a bit and wrap it up. So this is a great time to practice what you just did. If you want to work a little bit harder, give yourself some more pressure, and also just come up into a crunch. I know it's silly, but if you make a sound like shh as you come up, your abs will tighten up more. I'm too embarrassed to do it on camera. So there's 5 on this side, and let's switch sides. So we got a little bit of everything in today. And you have options for increasing the intensity. I would recommend getting like 3 sets of 8 to 10 of every exercise in that we worked on today, and only do what's comfortable for you. You're at home for a while, so you have time to practice, right? To work up to things. Let's finish up with one more. Yeah, your abs should feel nice and tight, right? And let's do maybe like a tiny bit of stretching for you. So let's roll over onto your stomach. We call this a sphinx, right? So your hands come right up next to your body. Oh my gosh, we didn't do any push-ups. I think we have to do them, right? Do you have time? Yeah. Okay, so you can grab your chair if you need it. Oh my gosh, how could we forget push-ups? So this would be the easiest option for a push-up. I'm sorry guys to make you work a little bit more. Put your body into a plank. We'll call this extended plank because your arms are straight. The rest of your body is fully engaged. And we just come down into a push-up. This would be like an easy option for you if push-ups are new for you. The higher you are, like the more manageable the push-up will be. So you can do it against a wall, you can do it against a treadmill if you have one at home. We're gonna do 10 more on the floor and then stretch a little bit. There's so many options for push-ups. I will show you next week. I think we're doing this again.
Definitely.
You can make this about your core, your abs, as long as you're really exhaling through them and kind of curving up a little bit in your lower back. So we're try to do the opposite of this, right? Keep this nice and tight. And let's finish with one more. We'll get into a little stretch here. So come into what we call child's pose. Spread your knees wide. Make your hands straight. Just push your butt back. Drop your head to the floor. We'll give this a couple counts. Then we'll come back up into plank. Let's take the right foot outside of your right hand. Just hang out here for a moment. You can drop your knee to the floor if you like. Let's hold this for just a couple counts. Switch sides. And walk yourself up to standing. Let's just go into like a very low squat here. Press your elbows into your knees. Grab onto your toes and just take your butt to the sky. And just stand up, bring your arms up, shake it out, and you're complete. There's your household item workout number 1. Thanks for joining.
I'm going to clap. Thank you so much, Reza. That was wonderful. I'm going to do that later on tonight. What everybody needs to know is that the video will be available for 24 hours on the Happy House NYC live and Maison 10. But we've also got it on our YouTube channel. It'll be there forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Reza mentioned doing it again next week. Definitely.
All right,
So tune in. We'll do some other things. Any questions whatsoever, then send them through to me. We've got lots of comments here. Thank you from Victoria. People were asking about things earlier. My favourite part was, what was the quote about? If you don't squeeze your butt, nobody's going to squeeze your ass. I love it. Okay.
It's the season for that.
Reza,
All right, thank you everyone.
Thank you so much.
Have
Take
a great
care.
night.